that first exposed a culture of sexual misconduct inside one Chicago high school. The Chicago Board of Education has enacted a series of policy changes aimed at better protecting students. But both a child advocate and a former student say they can still do more. Here's investigative reporter Bennett Haberly. He's got the continued reporting on lessons in betrayal.
I'm here to talk about behavior that goes unchecked of educators and administrators.
The message to the Chicago Board of Education was direct.
You need to do better.
Tania Haigh with the child advocacy group Kids 2 spoke during Thursday's public comment period. Her remarks came 2 weeks after the board approved a $17.5 million settlement for a former student who years ago was sexually abused while attending Little Village Lawndale High School. Tania argues in a district facing a deficit, that money could be better spent fully staffing the Inspector General's office, amending the collective bargaining agreement to stop paying teachers suspected of abuse, or incentivizing staff to report allegations of misconduct so that costly lawsuits can be avoided.
The status quo is not working. Protecting predators does not make financial sense.
Standing next to her, Anna Solano.
What I went through, what my classmates went through, I don't want anybody else to go through that.
Anna was one of 12 former students who came forward this spring to NBC5 Investigates with allegations that they either witnessed, were approached, or were groomed into sexual relationships with their former teachers, all from Little Village Lawndale High School. And our investigation found, since 2017, at least 7 educators from that same school resigned or were fired while under investigation for misconduct. This summer, after a 3-year investigation, the district's inspector general substantiated many of the allegations against the educators we reported on, calling it a systemic problem. In most cases, the women said the sex happened after they turned 18, or in the days, weeks, or months after they graduated. And in wake of our reporting, the board began to make policy changes this fall, expanding how misconduct and abuse allegations can be reported and extending those protections to recent graduates.
This supports our efforts to prevent inappropriate and harmful conduct following graduation that potentially indicates grooming had occurred prior to graduation.
The district also banned all employees, including teachers, from using personal emails or social media accounts to communicate with students or recent graduates. Anna said she had a years-long relationship with her former teacher, Dennis Cass. She and other former students shared with us social media messages he sent them. And while the Inspector General found insufficient evidence that Cass groomed students, the report shows his conduct was unbecoming of an employee and that he told the OIG he'd received no training from CPS that would have suggested it was inappropriate to have sexual contact with a former student.
I'm grateful that people are listening and that there's these new policy changes in response to us sharing our story. I want to say that it doesn't feel like it's enough.
Anna says that communication could be better. While CPS says it engaged with stakeholders in making some of these policy changes, Anna says it didn't include her. Cass and other educators accused have since been banned from being rehired at CPS. We did ask the district for comments on Tania's suggestions. We're still waiting to hear back. Natalie?
All right, thanks so much for that follow-up, Bennett.